Hey, what's going on, everybody? Here it's your boy, Mr. Ed from the Caramel Conservative, coming at you live here on a Saturday night. I don't know, anytime we have these holidays and everything, it does really throw me for a loop. But I hope you guys had a phenomenal Christmas. I had a beautiful one. I cannot complain. Talked to the kids, hung out with family, and I got to tell you, it's a beautiful thing. And I really hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas yourself. Now we're going forward into the new year. So this Tuesday night, we'll be doing a year review. So we'll be talking about some of the craziness that has happened throughout the year, kind of recapping 2020 and then seeing what goes on. However, 2020 has a lot of stuff to cover. And if you think about it right, people got a lot of things to worry about. Everything from COVID to riots. You have people worrying about their employment situation, whether they're going to get unemployment, all kinds of other things. Well, let's just throw more things into the mix. Now, before we do that, if you guys do me a favor, please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, Library TV, Rumble, BitChute, any of those joints, if you're listening on Spreaker, make sure you subscribe. Really helps out, get the message and everything, because that's the best thing you can do for us here. Smash, comment, and of course, share these episodes out. I want to bring your attention to this, though. It's kind of a big deal. If you guys have read the book or heard of it at the very least, the movie 1984, it was an interesting book because one of the things that you saw in it was a bastardization of language. Now, in this particular story here, and I want to give you the full screen. Let's give it the full screen layout here. Because we got the University of Michigan, as if you didn't have enough to worry about, there's certain words they want you to take out of your lexicon. And what they want to do is have you replace those words because these words are considered to be offensive. So, what words are they talking about in particular? Well, according to the Daily Wire, the University of Michigan, they have this task force together. It's called the Words Matter Task Force. Now they're looking to identify words such as picnic, blacklist, brown bag. These are all supposedly offensive terms. I didn't know that, but apparently they are. So let's get into the story here. Seriously, maybe that's why out-of-state tuition costs more than $66,000 a year. Damn, $66,000. For that, they better make me breakfast in bed. Well, anyway, the Words Matter Task Force, set up by the school's Information Technology Services Department, has declared that it finds more than 24 words and phrases offensive to people, including picnic, brown bag, and blacklist. Real quick, just an aside, what exactly does an Information Technology Service program have to do with linguistics? I get maybe if you're talking ones and zeros, but that doesn't make any other sense any other way. So they put on here, to effectively communicate with customers, it is important for the ITS to evaluate the terms and language conventions that may hinder effective communication, harm morale, and deliberately or inadvertently exclude people from feeling accepted to foment a healthy and inclusive culture, the task force said in its memo. The WMTF offers alternative words to use, for instance, urging people to say gathering instead of picnic, or lunch and learn instead of brown bag. Brown bag. I remember we used to say it all the time. You brown bag your lunch because why? The bag was brown. Picnic. You gathered together with people and you would sit there and eat food. However, the problem here is that there are people that have this erroneous idea of where the word originated from. Case in point in the next paragraph. The word picnic appears, and this is what they're saying here. The word picnic appears to be banned because of false suggestions on the internet that originates from racist and extrajudicial killings of African Americans, the Daily Mail reported. The word picnic actually comes from the 17th century French word pique-nique, and I'm sure I'm probably butchering the French pronunciation here, a term used to describe a social gathering in which attendees each contributed with a portion of food, kind of like a potluck. But I'm sure that's probably one of the words that's going to get banned here. Anyway, in July, Reuters news agency, published a piece, headline, fact check. The word picnic does not originate from racist lynchings. Images circulating on social media may claim that the word picnic originates from the racist and extrajudicial killings of African Americans. This claim is false. Amongst other words banned include dummy, which should be replaced by sample. So instead of saying you're using a dummy survey, a dummy whatever, sample. You need to replace the word cripple. So you should replace it with weakened. And instead of saying crazy, like, the staff is crazy, this person's crazy. So instead of saying crazy, staff are encouraging people to say unthinkable. The task force also said off the reservation should be replaced with outside the norms or rogue. The language police have had a busy year in 2020. They killed the NFL team name of Washington Redskins, which has so far only been replaced with Washington Football Team. Then they went for low-hanging fruit, which the Oxford Dictionary defines as a thing or person that can be won or obtained or persuaded with little effort. But a college professor insists this term is racist. For African Americans, if you say low-hanging fruit, we're thinking lynching. I don't know anybody who thinks lynching when you say low-hanging fruit. Like, seriously, black, white, green, yellow. And it's not like I just, have just come up in some small town. I stayed here all my life. I've kind of been around quite a few places. So when I hear people say that this is what folks are thinking, I don't know one. But okay, you want to be a victim, you do you. Mae Hicks Jones, the adjunct faculty member of Elgin Community College in Illinois, is credited for saying that. Grandfathered is also racist, she said, according to a report in the College Fix. Why is grandfather considered racist? What, you don't know your grandfather? I mean, is that the problem? Oh, no, did I say that? Oh, that was terrible. Right, okay. Rewriting language is terrible. To Hicks Jones, the phrase is reminiscent of a grandfather clause, which privileged white people's rights to vote over that of black people during the Jim Crow South. Then there was the Masters golf tournament. Rob Parker wrote a Deadspin headline, "We've lived in the Masters name long enough." Augusta National was built on the grounds that were once a slave plantation and was the property of a slave owner. And according to a 2019 New Yorker piece about the course, it is believed that enslaved blacks were housed on the property, he wrote. It is believed, but not confirmed. Oh, there's more. The largest cosmetic company in the world announced that it will remove words like whitening, fair, lightning from packaging on its products. The L'Oreal Group has decided to remove words white, whitening, fair, fairness, light, lighting, lightning from all skin evening products. The French cosmetics giant said in a statement, according to the Associated Press. It is comical, really. You want to take away words, and there will be pushback on the onset. There's always pushback on the onset. But what they're hoping to do long term is to shame people, to get you to say, to no longer say things like blacklist, to no longer say things like brown bag, grandfathered, masters. I've heard several people refrain from saying things like a master bedroom. No, never mind to the fact that it is the largest bedroom, and that's what it's always been referred to as. Picnic, a term that was coined in the 17th century in France, had nothing to do with slavery, but of course the SJWs of the world, they want to go ahead and perpetuate this myth. Now, what fascinates me even more so, we made the reference to the book 1984 from George Orwell. And I want to go to this little section here. I'm going to share my screen to it because I think this is a very poignant idea that we need to get to. Because when you look into the book, part of the context of this book was in the act. Well, what are you doing here? We're not responding. Come on, Mr. Computer, do your thing. Bear with me here for a moment. Hopefully you guys are seeing. It's just going to take a second. Of course, it's always got to do it at the worst possible time when a computer decides it wants to crap out on you. Like I said, just bear with me for a second. We're just waiting for this. And as we're waiting for it, I want to go into this Wikipedia section. And it was really important when we look at the history of what Wikipedia talks about here. When they talked about the principles of Newspeak, and I actually had this pulled up, but of course now this doesn't want to work for me properly. That Newspeak itself was a form of thought control. So, for example, the intellectual purpose of Newspeak is to make INSOG, and that was state-approved thoughts, the only expressible thoughts. As constructed, Newspeak's vocabulary communicates the exact expression of sense and meaning that a member of the party could wish to express. It excludes secondary denotations and connotations. The linguistic simplification of Old Speak into Newspeak was realized with the neologisms, the elimination of ideologically undesirable words, and the elimination of political unorthodox meanings of words. The word free still exists in Newspeak, but only to communicate a lack of something. So, for example, the dog is free from lice. The field is free of weeds. The word could not denote free will because intellectual freedom was no longer supposed to exist in Oceania. The limitations of Newspeak's vocabulary enabled the party to effectively control the population's mind by allowing the user only a very narrow range of spoken and written thought. Hence, words such as crime think, thought crime, and double think, accepting contradictory beliefs, and INSOG, English socialism, communicated only their surface meanings. And that's it, nothing more. All right, I am having some issues here, and I really wish I knew what was going on. Not responding. This is just not good. All right. If you guys bear with me here, I'm going to try to do something. I might have to rebroadcast this, but all right. Thank you guys for bearing with me here. We're going to have to reboot. Sorry.